It all started with an extremely awkward E3 announcement.
So the Star Wars name is Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you some idea that you'll be playing a Jedi.
So does that mean I get to hold a lightsaber?
Yes.
Vince Zampella didn't really give us anything right then, but what he eventually delivered from the team at Respawn is one of the best Star Wars video games we've ever played. Star Wars as a franchise has a lot in the video game department, but beyond the beloved Battlefront series during the PS2 era, the Knights of the Old Republic series, and of course The Force Unleashed, the list of games better than average is few. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is an outstanding achievement, and what its successor in Star Wars Jedi Survivor does perfects the formula. I'm David Burdett, lead editor for Gaming Trend, and well, I'll let Anakin say it.
This is where the fun begins.
Welcome to the Gaming Trend spoiler-free video review of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Everything begins rather somberly on Coruscant. Our hero Cal Kestis is on a mission to hunt down intel on the Empire and their whereabouts, and he finds out they're everywhere. In the midst of this discovery, his motley band is attacked, and Cal finds himself on the run yet again with the Mantis badly damaged. He'll need a little bit of help, not just for a few repairs, but to regain hope after constantly dealing with setbacks. The opening tone is perfectly set, with Cameron Monaghan's performance of a beat-down and depressed Jedi ringing through. It's after this set-piece moment that you'll truly start your journey in Survivor, and boy, is it massive. The promised up to 40 hours statement seems to be an easy one, and that's just looking at the sprawling vistas around the town of Rambler's Reach on Koboh. This is your hub, not to mention there's a ton of mystery surrounding the humongous area you'll be exploring. It's all worth the wait, with a tremendous story that unfolds as you visit other planets to get clarity on where to go next on Koboh. This is duly reinforced by an amazing cast of characters. We've already discussed Cal and his impact on the screen, but it feels like almost anyone he encounters delivers in their role, good and bad alike. The main cast from Fallen Order has already been seen in trailers, so it's no surprise they return, but each gets their moment in the sun. It all culminates in a memorable tale, which is what Star Wars at its best does. We're keeping this brief because it's not a story you want to spoil, but trust us when we say it's phenomenal. Also, the B-1 battle droids are absolutely hilarious. They've always been perfect for comedy, and Survivor doesn't waste them in the slightest. The Metroidvania stylings Fallen Order taught us are not forgotten in Survivor. They are instead enhanced. As mentioned before, the hub world of Koboh is colossal, but each planet you visit has its own larger-than-life feel as well. Part of this is how dense everything is, with new places to turn throughout each mission, but also because of the backdrop of each location, which feel like they extend for miles. I'm constantly wanting to make comparisons to Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild as I play Survivor, not because of the freedom of an open world, but because of the freedom felt in exploration. Even more fun is the traversal of each environment, with the platforming of Fallen Order getting even better, with smart tweaks to an already great formula, like the grappling hook and force dash. This use of verticality so prevalent in Survivor's game design changes the game, and with the aforementioned tools at your disposal creates an immersion rarely experienced. Towering mountainsides, crumbling ruins, and the shattered metal of space stations mean nothing to you, and it opens up where you can go and what you can see. Oh, and you can ride Space Chocobo, otherwise known as Neko, as well as other creatures. Very few games capture exploration like this, and Survivor manages to do so without losing the bombastic cinematic presentation a story-led game should have. None of this, of course, matters if swinging your lightsaber isn't fun, and Survivor brings with it the glory of its predecessor. Cal never undergoes a power down like many games force you to do, instead building on his previous skills and making use of more powerful enemies. Yeah, that little roach spider gets cut in half with one slice, but the Wampa-like Mogu is going to take all of your expertise to finish off, and that's if he doesn't require a few tries. While Fallen Order did a great job of having you face a variety of enemies, Survivor gives you a galaxy of foes to fight. You won't be swiping wildly either, but with a collection of stances that make you think on how to approach each battle, given your ability to only take 2 of them with you. There are only so many ways to swing a lightsaber, and the combination of past hack-and-slash games just don't fit the mold for a Star Wars game built in the Souls-like vein. Stances add to your engagements, with everything from the standard single blade, to double, to dual, to a crossguard like Kylo Ren, and even a fencer-like form with a blaster. Each one manages to be distinctive, like the dual blade allowing for a flurry of attacks, or the crossguard requiring a wind-up before striking a formidable blow. If that's not enough, you'll occasionally get the help of a friend, and there's nothing more fun than a tag team finisher. The Force is also an important part of your combat, and you'll be using it along with upgrading new facets. Push and pull return, but skills like using confusion add more to the experience, tricking a foe into fighting alongside you for a moment. This is very useful for crowd control, especially since the battlefield has gotten a few more soldiers after the series made the move to PS5 and Xbox Series consoles only, and newer PCs being the strongest with the Force. Upgrading all of these skills is important as well, with the original single tree dissected into multiple. This allows you to play your way, which is appreciated. Respawn didn't think that was enough either, adding a perk system to make you think on which ones are more important for what you're currently doing. It's similar to the stances, with only 3 slots available, but given that these are interchangeable at meditation spots, you can make swaps based on the moment. As if this wasn't enough video game for you, Respawn threw in the kitchen sink. Let me say, nothing I've done so far seems like it's just open world tropes, but rather rewards for my exploration. You've got standard side missions, and NPCs you can recruit to build Rambler's Reach even bigger. There are multiple vendors to provide loads of new cosmetic additions for both Cal and BD, along with other fun things, just for turning in items you find in the world. Beyond this, it's not just gathering scrolls and data discs, with Breath of the Wild-like shrines to explore for upgrades and bounty hunters to kill and turn in. Have a green thumb? Grow a rooftop garden as the seeds from Fallen Order return in something even bigger. Star Wars has always thrived because of the world it built outside of an already great story, and Survivor continues the tradition. That doesn't mean Star Wars Jedi Survivor is devoid of any issues, but thankfully most of them are simply technical in nature. There are frame rate hiccups and screen tearing, and in performance mode some details just aren't as pretty, with some of the characters and NPCs looking a bit on the low res side. You know, at least on consoles. Those are just a few that I can think of off the top of my head. This is the price you pay for a world so dense as Survivor's, but it's at least noticeable. That said, hopefully the Day 1 patch will alleviate some of these worries. There is so much more I could say about Survivor, but you deserve to experience it yourself. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a perfect sequel in scope, in gameplay, in world building, and in narrative. It thrives on well-thought-out systems, stellar combat, and bringing the exploration to an even more massive level than what came before, resulting in our score of 95 out of 100. We've been treated to several Game of the Year contenders in 2023, and Survivor joins the list. May the Force be with you.